Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Darktide. This is Fimbly Jim coming back into my main. I've been hearing a lot of people ripping on the Psyker quite a bit actually, due to the recent patch and not seeing any Psyker buffs. A thing I've noticed is that I feel like a lot of people aren't willing to adjust their playstyle to play a certain role. So I just want to show the best way that the Psyker should be played, the best sort of Psyker mindset when you're playing. You want to, focus. I know that the class is sort of in a weird spot where people are sort of saying that it should be a damage class, which I agree. I think it definitely deserves some buffs, but I have been able to regularly go through heresy difficulty with little to no trouble. And been able to carry pretty hard with the staves that I use. I have recently fallen back in love with the Surge Staff again. I use the Purgatus Staff a lot, but the Lightning Staff feels really good, especially with this recent patch. They updated the visuals for it, and it feels really good to just see all the effects and everything. And they adjusted some issues with the peril meter. Yeah, and I also happened to find something that I thought you guys would like. This is my current staff right here, which is pretty good. It's pretty good staff. However, I found one that is probably the closest to the highest roll that you could get for this. Is 380, if you don't know, is the cap for this, the highest you can possibly get. I got 378, which is crazy. The charge rate is pretty good. When compared to mine, this one has a better charge rate, but this one has better warp resistance, the exact same quell speed, higher critical bonus, and a higher damage modifier. So I think this staff has the potential to be crazy. So I'm planning to get this thing to Transcendent here soon, and I'm sure this will break 500 too. This will be my first 500 staff. I'm excited for when we can swap out the blessings because I don't really love this one. It's not the worst. But if I can get this as my secondary, the critical strike chance based on current peril, that'd be awesome. This one has good sort of stats, although I don't really know the difference between unyielding enemies and maniacs, because I'm pretty sure I thought they were the same thing, but I don't know, really. So anyway, that's what I'm going to work on building, getting this thing up to its current potential. So I want to run through my feats really quick. I have been using the replenish toughness over 5 seconds when gaining a warp charge feat, but I don't really think I love it that much. I think I'd rather have the replenish toughness for each 10% of peril quelled, just because you're going to be quelling a lot with the Surge Staff. Although I will say a few things. I'll talk about it in the video, but I think the Surge Staff is in a way better place, and I never really talked about its sort of shadow buff from the last patch, but we'll get into that in a minute. This, I have decided, is objectively the best for this row right here that you can take, and it recently got fixed, so it doesn't affect your charge rate or recharge when you're channeling Quell down, because it used to have an effect. It would affect, essentially, the peril resistance would also apply to your Quell speed, so it would make it Quell slower. I used to use this all the time, but it's too inconsistent, and the damage really isn't worth it when this allows you to cast 2 times more with the Surge Staff, which is just objectively more damage. This is also great because you just get more stacks, because you guys know me, I don't like using Brain Burst all the time, spamming it to keep my stacks up. I'd like to not think about it and just have stacks. This is just a personal opinion. I like this one. You could go with this. This is also nice, but to be honest, I don't use my sword that much, and when I do, it's just to block a few shots. This is really nice too. When you have more warp charges, it's pretty good. But I'd say this is probably best with this, but I'm constantly getting rid of my my warp charges. This actually would probably go really nicely with Essence Harvest. This is a good perk too. I used it a little bit. All 3 of these are good. You could get away with this too. And to be honest, I'm actually going to go with this for now. This is a really nice perk because the Lightning Staff, you'll kill a surprising amount of enemies, more than you think. But anyway, we're going with this. Kinetic Flare. I happen to like this one. I know it's up and down with some people, but I happen to like it. And this is okay. So my logic with this is I want my build to cover the Surge Staff's weaknesses so that I can maximize the potential of the Psyker. The Purgatus Staff is very good. It's very good at dealing with mixed hordes and normal hordes. However, it struggles pretty hard against armor. It doesn't really handle that very well. But the lightning staff doesn't really cover hordes very well. You can still spam lightning and do a decent amount of damage. However, there's a lot of enemies, which is why this is I'm bringing this instead, because it will apply essentially a mini flamethrower effect to all enemies in front of me, and I can do that to a whole horde, and it goes very far. And if you have max stacks, which you're likely to have most of the time, this can do a lot of damage, and you can essentially cover your base of hordes with this, so you can cast it on hordes. You have your elites covered, and the only thing that you don't really have covered is bosses, but that's where Brain Burst comes in, and you can use Brain Burst over and over again. I do want to switch out my my Blaze sword here, even though this is a very good weapon. I have found that I think you can also go with the dueling sword, but personally, this is pretty much just an aesthetics thing. I prefer the chainsword, and it is also the charged heavy with the chainsword is very good for cleaving through hordes really fast. So I happen to think that would actually go really well with this, so I could bust that out and just cleave through hordes with it, and then I can use this to cover my back with everything else. I've been using this on Heresy with great success, and I have been really enjoying it. So yeah, that's the build. I'm going to be showing you guys, and I'm going to be speaking to you as we go, and I'm just going to be basically showcasing what high-level Psyker mindset goes into, and the best mindset that you can have when playing as the Psyker. So I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so we're joining a tiny bit late, but nothing too bad. But as you can see, the effect has changed, so it kind of distorts your screen a little bit, which I know is going to be received mixed. I think it's going to be a mixed reception on it, but I happen to like it. I think it looks pretty sweet. But I didn't get to touch on the effect. Actually, it is a little nauseating to look at, to be honest. But I didn't get to touch on the effects that the recent update has had. The game has felt much smoother, generally speaking. I'm sure you could find a way to turn this off. But the last update actually had a pretty large effect on the Purgatus, or sorry, on the Surge Staff, and I'll explain why. But if you can see my peril right now, I'm at 98%, right? So watch this. I'm gonna channel to 90. And I notice how I didn't blow up, where before the staff had the issue of when you're at like 70%, you would explode if you cast. You now have the bonus that you pretty much are good to cast as long as you're not at 100%, which is kind of the same with the rest of the staffs. But it is very much more. It's just way more usable and feels a lot better. Which I know was a problem a lot of people had, was how fast they would blow up. And now that's not a problem anymore. And the staffs feel better. Visually, I do like the effects, but I don't know if I entirely love the distortion effect. Look at that cast right there. See, I literally cast at 97%, and I was able to what's it called? Not blow up. Let's see, there's a horde coming. So there are a little bit of performance issues, I think, right now, but in all, it's felt better. It's felt more smooth. I don't really know how to describe it. It felt a little clunkier before. So we're gonna showcase the part of my build that's designed for this. Dude, just lit them all on fire. So now we're able to help keep these guys off. And look at my peril. I'm casting, like, I'm spam casting right now, and I'm not really struggling too much. And my ever since they fixed the peril issue, Psyker has felt much better. I may have overcast. Nope, I didn't. I was good. I wasn't looking. I will say, so in terms of mindset with the Psyker, I found that the best mindset to have is sort of like a damage support, like in League. You're definitely going to be helping your teammates, whereas like your Veteran Sharpshooter is more like your ADC. They are going to just do heaps and heaps of damage. Think of like Tristana. Like they have the kit to escape, to like do lots of damage, to CC a little bit with their bolter, that kind of thing. And so, you know, they're in a really good spot, and I think all the other classes are just in a phase of like they're gonna get there eventually. But, you know, I think the Psyker's in a lot better spot than people give him credit for. I don't want him to be like the veteran sharpshooter of a, you know, I want him to be able to figure out my own way to make him viable, or make him viable. And so far, I really like what I have found. But I think what you should be always thinking is paying attention. I would say that I think the Psyker is one of the higher skill floor characters. Because you have a lot to juggle with learning how your abilities work, understanding what your weaknesses are, where you should, what you should be focusing on, and what you shouldn't be focusing on, etc. What you can do to help your team, how you should space yourself, and juggling your peril is another thing. But I think once you master that, like, you can really carry your team pretty hard, actually, in certain situations. Like right now, I'm getting kind of burned alive, but I've been very excited to get this video out to you guys. I'm sorry it's been a minute. I've been taking care of my my girlfriend. She's had a little but yeah, so essentially right now, like I'm able to keep, you know, I have pretty good range. I have the ability to hit targets that I can keep that guy off our team so they can do lots of damage. I don't really want to take that Grimoire. I hope they don't either. I'm in the fuck Grimoire gang. Get rid of that dog. I think I lightninged it and then got a head pop, which is why I personally like the head pop. I know some people aren't fans of it because of the randomness of its procs, but I happen to think it's good. And I do think the damage, or like the getting toughness back on kills is really good, because especially with this staff, because you can CC them, so it doesn't really matter. Like they can't attack you and like, oh, I didn't kill him first hit or second hit, I can just get him on the third. And that was pretty fast, about as fast as the Purgatus staff would actually kill them, believe it or not, because it excels at hordes, but it's pretty, it doesn't seem very good at single targets. And the reason why it seems so impressive with hordes is because it does the same amount of damage to all of them. But see, I was able to just spam cast over and over again, and then right back in the game, I'm stopping that. Keep casting. I haven't blown up yet. I haven't even gotten close. I can cast twice. As long as you're not casting when you hit 100%, you are good to keep spam casting. So I'm just thinking about managing my my meter here, and you really can't go wrong with any of the row 1. You can go 1, 2, or 3 with the first feat set. All of them are good. It's pretty much personal preference. Like, you know, if you think, like, I've been quelling a lot, so this is why I think the get toughness back on quelling is pretty good, especially with the recent buff to quell speed while you're using the peril. And I just stopped that guy so it doesn't attack our teammates. It feels really nice. Everything feels a lot smoother for some reason. I don't really know what they changed, but
of course the demons would try to defeat terror.
Yeah. Oh, this is a demon host, always spawns here, it seems. I don't know if we can sneak by this guy. I've tried. He looks a little farther than normal.
This way!
Let's go, gang. They're just gonna run.
Simpleton! Medicae is here, sibling!
But I'm excited to use that other staff because once I get it upgraded, I think it's actually going to be crazy good. It was almost a god roll. It was 2 points shy of a god roll, so in my mind I would call it a god roll. Also, you can cast through walls, and I'm up casting above right now. So, the lightning staff, personally, I know some people say it's boring. I happen to think it, you feel like a Sith Lord, which feels really nice, and I can let's just get rid of all this. Keep casting, I can even hit another one there, and I can pull out my sword and deal with these guys behind me. Just do this little and get rid of it. Cast another one. I even was able to squeeze a little one at the end there. Just do that to burn all of them, and then we'll hit them with some more chain lightning. They're all getting cooked. Very good, very good.
Over here.
More stacks I have, the beta. Yeah, I think just as long as you're getting peril resistance, this staff is very good. It seems that the Psyker's weapons seem underwhelming until you get a high tier, high rolled one, but once they get high rolled, they are some of the best weapons in the game. I firmly believe. Like, the bolter's great. I actually have been working on an Ogrin and a sharpshooter to give you guys a little bit more content, or a little bit more variety. But I'm still pretty loyal to the Psyker. I just happen to love him. But if you've seen, I mean, nobody's died yet. We haven't had to deal with any deaths. We've been pretty good about just get that gunner, do this, and then when I hit him again, go back, recharging, hit him again. And it's, it's to each their own with like how you want to play. I happen to think, like, look how fast I'm quelling this stuff. Just hit him with that.
There's no need
and
to throw off.
there we go. Look, clear that room without even really taking any. And this thing isn't even close to the damage that the other staff could have. And the percentages actually do mean something with this staff because mine is 50-something%, so it'll be almost a 30% damage increase, which will definitely show when you're using it. 300 damage per cast per enemy is nothing to scoff at, too, which I know a lot of people are like, oh, ew, whatever. That's not very good. This has 303 damage per lightning chain. So every enemy, that's enough on Heresy on full charge to kill what's it called? The grunts, which is really good. It might not be on this staff actually. Now I think about it, could be on the other staff. The one that has higher, almost god tier stats. But point is that this staff can absolutely rack up some serious damage on these guys. Oh, there we go. I actually popped first time of the whole match, but I had my ult up, so I'm good. Very easy to manage. Very easy to manage.
I am one with the wall.
Now we're good. Now we're just cool off a little bit here. And it's very fast, and we're already back into it. Couple seconds. And so I might be doing a little bit less damage than other stabs, but I'm keeping... And another thing I've noticed too is the more you keep the lightning on them, like if you do a quick little flick like that, it actually seems to do less damage. Get that gunner to shut up. And we're good.
Mid station.
Ammo. And now that we're at the last part here, I even have the I have the little chain with the little claw hand. I kind of like it. Looks pretty sweet.
Throne of terror.
A little amulet. I mean, or the what's it called? Little decoration.
Utilize auspices.
Get this. There we go. I just lasered him a little bit. I don't know if you saw my chain lightning went to him for a sec there. Do that, hit them all those guys. Keep chaining. Now I gotta be a little more conscious because I don't have my ult. I can't be as willy-nilly, but I can still spam CC. Still good. But yeah, all in all, this stuff, the biggest problem people had with it was like the auto explosion. And ever since the update that fixed it so that people didn't just randomly explode too, where they actually always have the animation happen, which was a big problem I personally had. And I'm gonna cast on 100 and then I'm gonna do that. So that way I can max my damage out and save myself from there. All those red hit markers going. But that was a big quality of life change that I feel like a lot of people didn't fully appreciate. Was the ability now to not just insta blow up, which a lot of people didn't believe. They thought the Psyker was just incompetent when it happened, but there was a legitimate bug where you would just blow up when you hit 100 instead of having the whole animation that you could react to. As you see right now, we are... Now that they've changed it for the... I really like the change. It just feels so nice being able to just you don't go over the tap anymore. It's just so nice, and I'm helping my team a lot by not, I'm just lasering everything, chain lightning everything, and you can chain lightning more enemies than just 5. Actually, it's not just 5. It's the 5 every cast. So that could be, if you cast correctly, that could be upwards of, am I getting flanked right now? That could be upwards of, like, if you can cast 5 or 6 times, which I can often cast more than that, I could be CCing like 30 enemies or more. There's the box burster. Just gonna laser him, get him out of the way. There we go. He was on the ground, so it wasn't really a good showcase of that, but... Anyway, I know I haven't been talking too much of my mindset, but I hope you can see how I'm thinking right now. How I'm just sort of juggling everything right now. I'm focused on thinking about my peril. I'm thinking about how many casts I can get off, and like once it becomes muscle memory pretty much. Like I'm just able to... I'm like, okay, I know I can cast once more. Once I hit 100 and it makes the loud noise, I know I hold R. Sort of like you have like a alerted reload, and I can do one more in here. That may have been a... Yep, nope, I got it. There we go. It seems like it only blows up when you start charging at 100%. So if you charge like that just now, see, I charge. Watch, I'll show you. Let me see if I can get it happening. So like right now, I'm gonna do that just to get them off me. Throw that down. I'm gonna demonstrate really quick here. And then cast right there at 100. Let's see if I can do it again. Let's charge. I'm gonna wait till I have my ult just so I make sure I'm not a fool. There we go. And then we're gonna cast at 100. See, I cast out, and there we go. Okay, so it does actually proc, but it's really not. I was incorrect there, but you can still spam cast, and once you hit 100, you're good. Just don't. Essentially, I even got called out using the surge staff, which is wild because the surge staff is not really known for getting tons of kills. If you saw what my teammate just said. It's not really known for getting tons of kills, but I got enough to where they called me out for it. So as long as you're not pressing mouse 1 at when you've cusped over 100%, you can spam cast. Like just spam cast and spam cast. I'm at 100, I'm good. Which means you can cast at 99 and be okay. So it just takes practice, but once you do, you can like this is gonna be a lot of enemies. I'm gonna cast. That's how I get them all good and injured. Keep getting some kills. Just spam casting on a Horde right now. Just killing them all. I am holding off a Horde with the surge staff. Nope, I accidentally cast. There was a mistake right at the end.
Suspect the heretics got me.
I cast on accident there, but we're fine. Just do this. If you saw, that was a mistake I made there. It was just me being a little careless. Because there was no need for me to do that, but I was having fun casting, spam casting. But this thing is pretty wild now. And there. That is as smooth a run as you can do. I'm pretty sure I was the only down, and it was a mistake. But that staff is wild. It is. I've been having a whole lot of experience. Or sorry, I've been having a whole lot of. Ooh, it's okay. 377 purple is kind of not that good. Hey there, Whitey. Oh, bye, Whitey. Anyway, this has been Fimbly Jim. Thank you so much for watching. That was my demonstration on the best way to play Psyker, in my opinion. It's mostly just like the mindset that you have, what you should be thinking about, what you should be paying attention to, and demonstrating how absurd the Surge Staff can be. It certainly has a place that I think sets the Psyker apart from any other class, and if you learn to use it properly, and you get one with pretty good stats, the thing can be an absolute beast. The one that I had 308 damage on the secondary. And let me just double check that. Yep, 308 damage on the secondary right here. Which, if I'm not mistaken, the bolter is 450 or close to 500. So this is 308 damage that you can spread across a whole bunch of enemies. If we go down to this other staff, this is at 330, which is even higher. And that's not including the critical strike chance that it can have, which is very, very potent. I'm going to make another video showing this off when I have it all souped up. This might be one of the best Surge Staffs that I have seen a video on when I get it crafted up. If anyone can get 2 points more, they would beat this staff out. But that's a very, very rare roll. It's a god roll. Very lucky to get this. I'm very fortunate. But yeah, I just wanted to show off how my build works and how my mindset is when I'm playing the Psyker, because, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I think that the Veteran Sharpshooter is certainly one of the higher performing classes with a kit that, you know, reflects that. But I also feel like the Psyker is arguably up there as well. I think all of the classes, if played well and mastered correctly, are very, very powerful and very, very potent. I think it's a matter of people not really loving the learning curve of the Psyker and wanting it to be easier than it is, and I actually prefer it to be a harder class because it feels more rewarding that way. So, anyway, that has been my little spiel. I hope you guys don't mind the constant talking. I was very excited to make this and had a lot to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. I look forward to seeing your guys' responses to the video. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Drive and walk safe wherever you do go. And please, 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 be nice to yourself. Be kind to others, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye!